We just got a very interesting tweet from EA today that highlighted a lot of new Ultimate Team changes in an article that they posted on their website, which was odd because we figured we'd probably seen everything already that was going to be new. We definitely hadn't. There's a lot of new changes to talk about. Nil-nil quitting has been addressed. We have reward changes for weekend league, division rivals, friendlies. I mean, everything basically has been changed. To a certain extent, we've got promos leaked as well. So we got things to talk about today. And I also want to dive into kind of why I think they're making these changes, because most of these changes, I'm not gonna lie to you, they sound pretty good to us in terms of helping us just have a better experience. They do sound a lot better. So we're gonna kind of talk about everything we need to. We're gonna summarize the whole article, probably seen some tweets, even seen some YouTube videos, whatever. We're gonna summarize everything that I think is noteworthy today. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description. They are the cheapest and safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. And as always, thanks for being here. I'm gonna plug the 24-hour stream every day until it happens later this week, Thursday, which is 10 minutes before the game comes out. Thursday for me, but it might not be Thursday for you. For the launch of FC 25, we will be live. Okay, starting off with the title of the video. This was a little blurb here in this article from earlier today. Quitting games early in FC 25. This just goes with not even nil-nil quitting. This goes with any quitting at any point during a game. The loss will not count to form. You have to finish the match for it to actually count towards your form. Now, what does that mean? Let's read the actual quote from EA itself. To reduce the potential for win form manipulation, only full match losses will count towards the way form is calculated. This means that if a match ends before the full-time whistle is blown, the loss will not count towards your win form. This will help ensure a level playing field and that the whole community is able to find an appropriate matchup to their skill level. So what that means, if you are hypothetically 10-0 in your form, you rage quit a game, you will no longer be on a 10-1 form, or I believe it's a 9-1 form, technically, if it's a last 10 based form, right? You will stay at 10-0. So if you leave it nil-nil during a game, you still will not get the win, unfortunately, which, let's be honest, that is the best thing they could have done, but this is, I guess, kind of a step in the right direction or something. So now, if you leave it nil-nil, it actually will not benefit your matchmaking in any way. You will not face easier opponents if you leave it nil-nil now. We do not know for sure if it is in FUT Champs yet. We do know it's in live friendlies. It's under the live friendlies tab. People are figuring that it's going to be in champs as well. We don't know 100% if it's going to be yet, but basically they tried to think of a way that they could not give you the win at nil-nil still and still decentivize you from backing out at nil-nil or at a draw, which to me they should add this also with a friendly quit. If you're down 6-1 and you want to rage quit, you should be able to do that. Now, if you rage quit at 6-1, that loss does not count towards your form. You will not face any easier opponents. So to me, obviously the compromise here is hilarious because they just tried to think of something, any way they could try and decentivize nil-nil quits without actually giving you the win, because oh my god, we cannot give them that win. But at least it is something to try and help prevent people from quitting the game, right? It does as well stop rage quits from happening though, nearly as much, right? So of course they add something that helps them and us, never just us seemingly. Now we'll get to more changes in this video that does seemingly kind of just help us, but we'll talk about that and maybe how that could be the case, could not be the case. Anyway, what do you think about this whole, you know, a match ends before the full-time whistle's blown, it does not count towards your form at all? Do you think that's a sufficient way to combat this? Do you think that that's kind of nonsense, or do you think that that actually will help? But okay, now EA get us into mode and reward changes. EA have really tried to find the right balance between champs rewards, division rivals rewards, friendlies, and all of these game modes. They just cannot seemingly find the right balance for this. And I do appreciate that they still continue to try and change them, because they know right now they have not found the right balance yet. They can definitely see that, and I'm glad that they are fixing that, because if you look at the first bullet point right here, unique mode identities, that's what they care most about right now. As you can see, under every single game mode that you'll see, they have a purpose for, and let's read those purposes. So champions playoffs, obviously your gateway to champs finals. Finals is the pinnacle of high stakes competition. Okay, that's kind of not much of a change. We'll go over the reward changes in a sec here. Division rivals, your everyday destination for online competitive play. They're turning division rivals into like the main everyday game mode, and we'll go over that more. It takes more wins now to get rewards. They're really emphasizing rivals being that everyday game mode you hop onto. For competitive play, squad battles is that same thing for offline competitive play, and then friendlies is your shared playground for squad experience experimentation, which I think is exactly what it should be. I'm glad that I'm seeing them say that here. I would rather there be no matchmaking parameters at all and just kind of have it be open, basically the wild, wild west of matchmaking, but at least we have now a much better way than Division Rivals based matchmaking. And they acknowledge the problems where it's like Champs playoffs actually was the lowest stake environment to play in. It seemed like that's always been the intent of live friendlies, right? So that game mode is such an important piece of the game to me, if I could stop voice cracking, that I'm just so happy to see that they address what their purposes really are for each game mode. And I do like what the purposes do seem to be. Whether the execution will be perfect, we'll have to wait and see. But okay, now that we know what the modes are supposed to be in EA's eyes, let's look at the reward changes. There's some other changes too, like this right here. To qualify for Champs Finals, you now need 3 wins out of 5 games. Last year, it was 4 wins out of 10 games, which was fairly easy for most people. But now this year, it's going to 60% win rate rather than 40% win rate, right? It's going to make it a little bit harder this year. And they purposely wanted to make it a little bit harder this year to qualify because if you look at the rewards down here in Champs Finals, they did make them a lot better. Rank 1 looks like this. 200,000 coins, a tradable 8510 and 8410. That right there that's insane. Untradeable base icon pack. We finally get our icon packs back in Champs rewards. We've been waiting for that for so long. Untradeable 89.2, untradeable 82.30, and a 3 tradable team of the week pack. Those rewards for rank 1 are unbelievable. So harder to get into weekend league, but they made the rewards better. What they also did was shorten the amount of games in total. It's now 15 games, down from 20. We've gone from 40 games of weekend league in 2 days to now 15 games in 4 days, which is kind of hilarious. And now rank 1, you actually have to win all 15 games. 1 point for a win now, 0 points for losses. The stupid 4 points for a win, 1 point for a draw system is fucking gone, thank God. And look how many ranks there are too. Each win really is going to matter for your rank. I do kind of like that. I didn't like how there would be a 3-win gap in rewards. That never made it very exciting to me. Having 15 way more high stakes games, I actually like that if I can mix in the friendlies and have that be more casual, right? Last year, weekend league games were actually really fun because it was the most casual game mode we had. This year, that should not be the case. I don't mind them shortening weekend league at all because FUT Champs isn't supposed to be that game mode where we go into wanting to have the casual experience. That should be friendlies, and that should be what we get next year, theoretically, right? That's kind of the FUT Champs changes. Less games, better rewards, but harder to also qualify for it by a little bit. So what do you think of all the FUT Champs changes? I think that they're better. I genuinely do think that these are better changes than what we've had, combining that with all the rest, which we're going to get into now. And the friendly stuff, I think, is the most important piece of this. If friendlies is fun, it will make FC25 a way, way, way better experience for everybody. Now on to rivals changes. This one is where it's, I don't know. Let's just get into it. They are increasing the number of wins required for weekly rewards from 3 to 5, and for upgraded weekly rewards from 7 to 15. That's where the controversy was. 15 wins now for your weekly rewards. Now, however, I just spit all over the mic. Do we do a mukbang? Now, it's 45 points, not 15 wins. So you do still get draws. You get a point for a draw. So 45 draws, guys, will get you the weekly rivals rewards. Now, it does say they can make them better now because you're playing more matches, right? Now, it's 75,000 Ultimate Team coins for the Elite Division upgraded rewards. 2 tradable 85 plus player picks. This is a really, really good one, actually. 85 plus player picks are awesome. 1 of 4 tradable is sick. 50 gold rare players pack tradable. Untradable 75 rare gold players pack, tradable mega pack, and 2 untradable team of the week packs. They want you to spend less time in champs, more time in rivals, which is fine if the rewards are better, right? Which it does look like they are. And draws mean something, which they do. However, you know, you got 15 wins, which, I mean, let's be real. If you're getting, like, in Elite Division, if you win half your games and you lose half your games or so, added a mix of draws in there, you're playing at 30 games every single week for Division Rivals rewards. That is a lot of games. The rewards are better, and the non-upgraded rewards should also be better if you just happen to get, say, the 7 wins. But this is one of those things where they did make it a lot harder, but the rewards are better. What do you think about that? I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. It might be a bitch, but I don't think it's going to be too bad considering we're going to spend more time here, less time in champs. Squad battles games are now 32 to 14. They don't care about squad battles anymore. This will be gone in like 2 years. And also every objective that was done in squad battles mainly is going to now be done in friendlies, which I think is nice as well. And this change will be bad if you couldn't keep playing when your 14 games were up. If you were trying to grind an evolution, right? If it was a 20 game evolution, you wanted to play them all in squad battles, you can still do that because you can just refresh the last game or whatever. It just won't count towards your score, which is fine. But they're trying trying to mix up how much time you spend in each game mode, and I really actually appreciate that because we need game mode changes so badly. It's shocking how bad we need them. But okay, obviously let me know what you guys think about that. We've got the average market price now on the card itself, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's not a substitute for FUTBin because it's the average price, not the cheapest on the market. So you don't really use it that much, or you're not going to use it that much. But it's a little addition to the game, I guess. It cleared up some confusion on multiple versions of players in packs as well. There can be multiple special versions of a single player in packs at once, but there cannot be the gold version and the special version, if that makes sense. If there's a team of the week Holland in packs plus a winter wildcard Holland, hypothetically, those two can coexist in packs at the same time, but the gold card cannot. If a team of the week Holland came out, you won't see gold Holland and team of the week Holland in packs. It has to be two special cards. The gold card is always taken out of packs when any special version is in packs. So that's kind of clearing up some confusion on that. They also said here they will be shifting a lot of the challenges in evolutions that used to require you to have to play in champs or rivals. Remember those stupid evolution objectives where they made you play in those game modes? Now they're shifting those to live friendlies and rush, where it's just less pressure. They still will online gate it looks like occasionally, but it's just a much more relaxed game mode now, which is nice. More little tidbits of information here. Players who are rejoining us from Football Ultimate Team 24 will also get a little something extra with returning user rewards, which I'm pleased to announce are back for Football Ultimate Team 25. Welcome back packs are back, thank God. They say down here that during early access, which early access is just the Ultimate Edition launch time, right? We will get Team of the Week 1, Rush Objectives, Player of the Month SBCs, which is interesting, Special Evolutions, World Tour and Squad Foundation releases, and much more. I was kind of just curious about the Player of the Month SBCs, like which will be the first confirmed one there. We'll probably have a leak in the channel. Subscribe if you're new, cheeky plug. And the whole rest of the article is about Rush, basically. I can't really say too much about Rush. It's another way to earn rewards. You complete weekly objectives in Rush in the 5v5 game mode. You then can unlock these down here, kind of like a season progress, right? It says they'll provide new player items that are suitable or well suited to Rush. They picked a lot of like small guys, I think, who are good dribblers. I think that's why they picked those guys. So you'll be able to get these 4 cards in the season. And there's this objective card in here. We saw Adama Traore leaked and it was confirmed, obviously. And I believe to get this Adama Traore, they'll have certain friendlies where like there's certain Spanish requirements. It says they're going to add a lot of Spanish evolutions and SBCs as well because of the fact that there's a friendly out where you need Spanish players. So if you look up here at these two, you got Nacho, Heel, and Fontas, 2 Spanish players as well. Not a coincidence there. You can take them into this friendly during season 1. So I like to see that too. Anything to help us with more casual, more different squad building experiences, more casual experiences would honestly make such a ridiculous difference in the general enjoyment of this game. Will this actually happen? I don't know, but it does seem like these guys are making a really good step in the right direction, hopefully. Now, here are the other FUT Champs rewards as well. It looks like the untradeable base icon pack is only for rank 1. Rank 2 is hero. Rank 3 is hero. Rank 4 is hero as well. And then rank 5 is a base hero max 87 just for right now, right? But these are all the ranks. Going to skip through this. You can. But yeah, the question is just, I guess, what do you think about all this? I think it's all pretty promising. I do think there are ways here that they could sort of manipulate this and make things a little bit worse for us in some areas. But in general, the biggest thing to me is the balance between the game modes. And if friendlies can become a game mode that is fun and just enjoyable to play and watch and build squads in and give a purpose and reason to build those extra Spanish teams or your past and present favorite team, you can take them into a game mode and earn rewards without having to sweat your balls off every fucking game like it's Division 1. And that's a huge change to me. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I just want to give them their credit where I think it's due because I fucking criticize them all day, and rightfully so in my opinion. But I just want to say I do like a lot of these changes on paper. And the web app release is also confirmed to be on the 19th, which, okay, it's a day before the game comes out. Then it's really not as like interesting as it once was. It used to be 5 days before the game launched, the web app will come out. So you want to grind in the web app, try and make some coins, but that's kind of dead now at this point, I guess. Also, this tweet just came out. It's, we've taken down the EA Sports FC25 ratings webpage while we investigate an issue impacting the accuracy regarding details of certain players. Yes, we did get FC25 mistakes before the release of the game even came out. I don't know what this tweet's about, or somebody find mistakes or something, I guess, on some player attributes. But then also there was this interesting tweet. Rick TH, who's a trader on Twitter, the inflation on the market this year is about to be nothing like you've ever seen before. And this could be true. We really could see some inflation this year if we get better champs rewards, better rivals rewards, more guaranteed coins as well. There could be some crazy inflation. And this year more than ever before, it's going to sound like a huge shill of my channel right now, honestly, and that's probably because it fucking is, but staying up to date with this market because it's going to be brand new, basically, with a whole new reward system. If you don't want to lose a bunch of coins all the time, talk about the market and news and everything related to FIFA daily on the channel, so subscribe if you are new. I don't know why I'm talking this fast. We already got more Evos leaked. We got a new Evo cosmetic unique gold plus. Apparently, it's like an animation in the game where your gold lights up, your gold card lights up, I guess. They're just, they're just adding more sort of cosmetic options for your team, which I'm fine with. I don't like if they're super easy to do. Add a cosmetic option, sure, I don't care. Add a little variety. Our first squad foundations have now been leaked as well. Liga F. We got it in Spanish as well. I don't know what positions these guys are. Well, these gals are, sorry. You can pause the video if you want to look through them all. And Hello Sosa is the first one there. Franci is the second one. 88 pace, 83 shot. And the third one is Pone Amazaga as 91 pace, 82 shot. Okay, let's read your comments now. And G the Firm, who had a couple of minor spelling mistakes here. Let me just read the comment how I think he meant it. He always assumed that the Ultimate Edition prices were actually lower than the Standard Edition prices because more players come onto the game. Well, what actually tends to happen is that is very true for about 1 day, 2 days, right? We talked about that very first weekend, not the Ultimate Edition release weekend. The next weekend after that is where those gold cards that are like 82 rated or so, they really peak at that point. Now, this year could slightly be different because we have much more of inflation potential here with coins going crazy and rewards and stuff. However, also we get a lot of more tradable packs. So will that offset it? We'll have to wait and see. But the point is, yes, when the standard edition comes out, technically the market does rise for like 2 days and then it starts dropping again. And this down here, thanks for not dying from KNJ. I mean, you're welcome, I guess. And the biggest thing they did not talk about today was a paid season pass. We didn't see anything about that. Are we going to acknowledge that a game which isn't free will have a paid season pass included? I was wondering where all that information was. We didn't see any of it. They're just going to completely ignore it because they know they're going to get backlash for it, probably. Maybe it won't be that pertinent to Ultimate Team even, but I'm just stunned to see there's nothing about it in this whole article here. Maybe it gets its own article in a couple days. That could happen, but there's nothing about it, which is strange. Vincent says, why would you want to play with women's MLS? Unless you watch that league or you're a woman, have some fun too. I agree, no Prem, but surely Serie A, Liga, Bundesliga, or some teams such players you like and are good. Now, keep in mind, I'm strictly talking how to save the most coins, okay? You always want to balance coins and fun. That's always a super important part people honestly forget about. I should have even mentioned that in the video. Always make sure you're having fun first and foremost. If you don't care about losing coins, then go and buy anybody you want to, okay? Fun's the most important part. However, if you want to save the most coins, just play with a league like that, right? Because it has less IRL hype. That was kind of the whole point, but you always want to make sure you're having fun. That's a very important caveat. I should have mentioned that. So Vincent, thank you for saying that. But all right, let me know what you think about all these changes in the comments. I will read every single one of them as I always do. Thanks for watching. Love you. See you soon. Peace.